Hey, hey,
What's
hey.
happening? What's happening?
I know what is happening. A lot
I'm
is
excited.
happening.
Mhm.
That's happening.
What?
That sounds like poor grammar. What
Penny, when you
is
sent this, when you sent this, I was like, good Lord, another, uh, everything is just blowing up in the news. If it ain't Epstein, if it ain't Oprah, if it
That's
ain't,
right. It's
and
true.
it's
I didn't see the Epstein list. Did y'all see the Epstein list?
everybody.
No.
The thing is, the list that they're talking about, I thought it was going to be all this explosive stuff that we didn't expect. It's people that were already
On the
had
list.
sort of affiliation with him, whether it was before he had been convicted of the sex trafficking or
Right.
whatever. So I don't think
Okay.
it's that big of a deal. It wasn't deep throat or anything like
Yeah, it
that.
wasn't explosive.
What the
It
hell?
wasn't because I was waiting for somebody that wasn't going to be on here. But again, if your name is on there, it don't mean that you did what he did. It just meant that he brought you out to the private island at some point or another in the last 30 years. So it's like, oh, okay, all right.
Well, I think that his list takes second fiddle compared to KATT Williams, what he done said about people. Okay, y'all. Like, I'm sorry. I said we gotta bring this to the porch. Because this is beyond a hot topic. This is like gasoline draws on
Yes, honey. Yes.
Listen, all I can say is, I mean, we talk about stuff all the time behind the scenes and everything, but it ain't even enough when this stuff just start hitting the fan. It's like, okay,
I'm
put
just
your
saying
genius.
this. Be careful what you say about people, okay? And this goes on both ends, okay? Be careful what you say about people because there is always a repercussion. You know what I mean? If it's not something positive, it's always a repercussion. And I'm going to say, woo, what a repercussion. You know what I mean? Woo. I mean, if you thought about it, now you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know.
But
Now you know.
let's just say this. That man is smart. Right before
He's
he
a
saw,
genius.
he got it all.
He's
He
literally
got all of everything, all attention's popping on him. He knew exactly. He held that thing, boy. He waited. I like it. I'm
So,
sorry.
so let me just say this. Shannon Sharpe, you know what I mean? It
Mhm.
kind of benefits Shannon Sharpe because Shannon Sharpe had a
Of
tumultuous
course.
relationship over here with ESPN. Okay, and
Mhm.
now he's got these
kinda.
collaborations are doing well. But Shannon Sharpe Shay Shay podcast,
Club Shay Shay.
you know,
Mhm.
um is fairly new, y'all. It's fairly new. So just to
Mhm.
see the people who have been on Club Shay Shay, I kind of thought that yeah, Cat Williams was going to come. You know what I mean? Because think about Cat Williams. Cat Williams has had a lot of controversial things happen through his career that people talk about. But one thing I will say for myself, I never doubted like his credibility, you know what I mean, in any and everything. Because when he even have his performances, when he's been running from the law or whatever, he gonna bring a joke out about it. You see what I'm saying? He gonna tell you about it. And one thing I really respect this man for is because he gave you the backstory before he threw them under the damn bus. Okay, he told you
Mhm.
why they was getting thrown under the bus. You know what I mean? Now he's the driver of the bus. So if you think that he didn't have, like he said, receipts, now you know. Now you know. So who first? Who gonna say their opinion first? Because it was so much.
Mine first because I did not watch the entire thing. I've been listening to it, and so I'll be honest to say that or whatever. But I'm gonna say what I always say about anything and everybody. Even a broke clock is right twice a day. So when people are telling their truths, we have to take into consideration they're telling their truth. And so it's not for us to doubt, disbelieve, or whatever. He feels like, he's being genuine, even though he can take an honest situation and make it funny or whatever. But he's also low key about explaining some of the situations he's in. Because when he talked about Melba Moore and paying for her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and no one knew that that's what he had done, but he had sponsored financially for her to be able to do that, even though she deserved it. And so when we think about that and think about the kind things that people can do that we don't know anything about, it kind of lends to their credibility. It doesn't mean that what happened didn't happen, even if other people remember it differently. So the only thing when I'm telling a story is I can only tell it to you from my point of view. So we have to, you know, keep that in mind. But it did seem pretty explosive what I did hear so far. Not so much explosive. It doesn't really surprise me. But at the end of the day, he doesn't do a lot of interviews with people. So then you have to take into account that when you tell your story, it's going to be much longer because I don't sit down. I don't do one-on-ones with people or whatever. So I've always found him to be entertaining. He's a very intelligent man. He seems to have understood the business aspect of what he does. He understands it very well. And again, I think we've talked about this on previous episodes. He is also an Emmy winner. So please don't discount the fact that the receipts that he has is different than what anybody else has. So his talent must be for himself because he's got the accolades to back it up.
Celeste?
I love you ladies because y'all just so professional with how y'all say stuff. And it just makes me giggle because I am tickled to death with the fact that the truth has come out. Even like you said, it's his truth. The truth. Stop fluffing stuff, y'all. Y'all know doggone well half of that stuff he said we knew, but we didn't want to say nothing. We still following these clowns and thinking it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. I like Steve Harvey, but come on, really? What are you doing? Who are you helping? Maybe I'm missing something.
No, you're not.
Y'all making all of this money and y'all not helping nobody. So yeah, y'all get all your trash brought out in the carpet.
But he does have his foundations that he helps those boys. Let's be fair. I mean, again,
okay.
No, he does.
But I agree with both of y'all point because guess what? We don't that's not our lives. Who cares? You know what I mean? But you know, at the end of the day, when somebody want to tell their
I'm
truth,
talking about in the industry.
yeah, that's what you get into. So yeah, you run into that sword that you thought that you was you thought that you was given. Now you getting it. You see what I'm saying? So
And the things that you've been getting away with because you have money is not okay. Now, this is the funniest thing. I know we probably gonna get blackballed for this. He just was trying to protect his backside. That made me giggle the whole
I laughed so hard on that. He said,
I know.
he might keep that virgin. I was like, oh God.
He just trying to keep his backside. I want to say it nicely, y'all, in case we're on YouTube. He just want to keep his backside from being violated. That's all.
But I had to respect that because when he went to the point about, you know, hey, this could still be funny. When he's talking about Friday, this could still be funny. You see what I'm saying? But why would we incorporate funny with a rape scene of a man? You know what I mean? That was already like, okay. I never thought of it like that because we looked at it and it was hilarious. You know what I mean? What was going on? But apparently that's not what
Ice Cube talked about.
Yeah, Ice Cube did talk about that.
Ice Cube defended that. He said that's not his style and that's not the case. But you're right. Perception is everything. But yeah,
so
I mean, we're all over the place with this.
Go ahead, Celeste.
No. Go ahead. You heard what he said.
I heard what Ice Cube said, and I was like, Ice Cube, you too. I was saying that about him because if you think about it, if you think about the scene, y'all think about the scene when he was in there, he almost was going to take advantage of him. So why was that scene in there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, you see what I'm saying?
You
shouldn't put a scene like that in there because guess what? There's actually things like that happening to men. You know what I mean? Not just women, to men too. You see what I'm saying? And I guess everybody will come for. I'm gonna fight for my credibility too. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know what was they was drinking cognac. I was like, that cognac was looking good, even though I don't drink. That cognac was looking good, but you know, the more and more the truth serum was coming out.
And it was
Shannon. Do you think
Sharpe's brand?
Do you think that KATT Williams could have done it a different way than besides the way he did it?
No, I think he had to do it.
At first, when I was listening to it because I saw it, at first I was like, well, why is he going? Why is he talking about all these people? I thought it was very entertaining. but why is he talking about all these people? And is there a better way to do it? And then I said, well, because I'm a YouTube person, I said, let me go back and try to find some receipts. So when I saw that, what Kevin Hart said about him and the different situations, I said, well, you know what? Everybody has a right to speak their truth, whether you like it or not. Is your truth. It's just like, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Right.
And so he just set ablaze the things that have happened, and there are clips, there are receipts.
It is.
About
It really is.
about everything he said. So just like, and again, it's from it, even though it may not have been purposeful as far as what other people or they did to him personally. It's your perspective. Just like I was thinking about, all of us was in New York. We all saw Tina Turner, but I bet you everybody has a different thought about what we saw because it's our perspective on it. So a conversation, I think he did have conversations in the past, but then they kind of changed up the story, which made him infuriated, which made him say, okay, when I do get a chance to come and talk, I'm just going to let it all out. So,
I appreciate it. I just wanted to see what y'all professional women thought. I appreciated it.
Well, I think it was perfectly timed because he has a tour. He has a tour.
Yes.
I can tell you the tour coming to Philadelphia is sold out now. You know what I mean? So, why not use everything? Everything is publicity. So he used it and he got what he wanted. So he's getting the interest of people, because even though we heard him 3 hours long, it's a long podcast episode, long. So like I said, I was working, so excuse me, y'all, but I was looking, I was like, oh Lord. But if you think about that, it just makes people curious to say, is there more? You know what I mean? What is he going to say when he go out on the road? Is there more? Because he highlighted a lot of people who was just freshly in the news. Puffy, he freshly in the news. He put him out there, so nobody is kind of thinking twice about what's going on.
I'm glad Katt's in the news now.
Yeah,
so
he said Katt, but Katt put him back in the news because he probably said, okay, I was just starting to die down. People were scared to stop talking about me. Now I'm back because Katt talking about I'm having parties, and y'all know what goes on at my party. All kinds of stuff going on. I thought that he was kind of laying out his truth, because I think that, other people have been on Shannon Sharpe talking, and now that what you've done.
Off at the mouth.
Yeah. When your mouth is loose, guess what? Remember, somebody comes back right behind you. You see what I'm saying? They come right behind you.
It's a lesson, and when you think you're punching down. When you think that you're punching down to someone, this is a prime example of how they turn around and punch back up. Or should I say, punch evenly, but you thought you was punching down, but you weren't. I think that's a terminology I picked up from Dave Chappelle and watching him. He had very nice things to say about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle had very nice things to say about him. And so, it's a respect factor, right? At the end of the day. But I think he is a Mensa member, so he literally is a genius, right? So how sometimes they view things and how they say things or whatever sometimes goes over some of our heads. We have to admit that, right? Everybody thinks they catch everything, but sometimes it go right over the head. And so when people are responding to it, it's like, think about what he said first and think about what you said about him. But if you've said so much about him that you don't even recall or don't even remember, then that's even worse.
You thought you was getting away with it. You thought you could do what you want to do and nobody was going to say nothing. But all along, you didn't realize that because I'm such a genius, I'm going to just keep letting y'all rock like y'all rock. And when it's time for me to get myself real secure and blow up, that's what I'm going to do.
But that's what he did. That's what he did.
But remember when he said he was keeping receipts. He said, "Oh yeah, I know a lot of stuff. Don't come my way now."
And here's the thing: when you think about people keeping receipts, some people aren't keeping receipts on purpose. They're keeping it because they just see how things work and they choose not to say anything. It doesn't mean that they don't remember. It doesn't mean that they don't recall, and it doesn't mean that they don't truly know the truth.
And if you don't poke at me, I won't bother you. But if you poke at me, you going to get it.
You heard about that, poking the bear. When you poke the bear, be careful when the bear comes back and bite you. You know what I mean? So I think that Katt Williams is also a product of perception. You know what I mean? Because he had so much tumultuous occurrences with running from the law, you know what I mean? Saying things that made people think that he was, having a nervous breakdown and all kinds. So once people start to judge you, that still don't minimize this man is a genius. You know what I mean? He don't have to react. He has to plan. And the plan for the perfect launch or attack or whatever, you know what I mean? You just got to know that you subject yourself to the repercussions of someone who is very, very smart. You know what I mean? Very smart. And what he did with Shannon Sharpe was very, very sharp. I just say that.
And I believe that it was smart of Shannon, because here's a
Oh yeah.
person who has just started his platform, and even though he has multiple things going on as well, it was very smart and business wise of him to bring him on and to have him on the amount of time that he came on. And I think the difference between his interview and with KATT and some of the others is that the others probably went longer than an hour and stuff like that, and they probably just condensed it for
but they ain't go no 3 hours. I'm telling you that.
It didn't go 3 hours.
Yeah, Shannon Sharpe, he has another podcast with Ocho Cinco, and
that's a good one too.
And he said that most of the time people they tell him, well, I have 60 minutes, I have 75. He said he usually like to have it in 75 minutes, and some people say I have the whole day. And so I guess KATT said that as well, that he had to have the time.
And I do believe seeing the beginning of it, and he told him that only because it's you. He says, because I don't do very many interviews. I don't do a lot of sit downs. And he doesn't do a lot of press junket, when he's on tour. But I think, like Kimmy said, the timing was perfect, because now he got certain people interested in him who might not have already been interested. He ain't had no problem selling out his arenas at any time prior to this. So
and now it's selling out. And like I've seen him in the performance before, and he's hilarious. I mean, he's hilarious. So I think others who have now come out and tried to, they didn't, what I've noticed that they did not kind of do a rebuttal and refute what he's saying, but they're just trying to divert it to something else. You know what I mean? So that kind of,
which means there's some truth to what he's saying.
You heard what
he
said.
have a rebuttal, that means there's some truth.
You heard what he said, Shannon. You're not afraid of the repercussions. He said they ain't gonna say nothing. That's how they do. They ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
And like I said, even a broke clock is right twice a day. There's some truth in everything that people say, even if we don't necessarily agree with it. And so, that's where you're at. If 75% of what he said is true, he's still doing better than most.
So great episode, y'all. I think that there'll be more to come. We might have to do a part 2 and 3 on this one, because I can guarantee you we're gonna hear some more highlights coming from this one, y'all. So final thoughts.
Final thoughts is be careful how you treat people. You just never know how it's going to come back to you.
I think that we're in a time now where people need to be truthful, and they need to show their truth. We need to shed light on stuff. That's just like all the other episodes we've been talking about. We hide behind a whole lot of stuff, and we allow people to do whatever they want to do. And then we end up with junk, and we don't know why. But no, yeah,
I'm like you guys. Speak your truth. Say it with your chest. Speak your truth. And he said it with his chest.
And I said,
he stood on business.
My final thought is, if you don't speak your truth, somebody will speak your truth for you in these days. So, take it. I can put my version out first and, get it out, because usually the second version has a lot of ingredients added to it. You know what I mean? Because now it's their perception, and now they can tell you what they thought their interaction was and what you're doing. I think you might want to be people. Be honest. Be who you are. You know what I mean? No judgment here. It just sounds a little muddy when it comes from other people. So again, all right. Well, great episode, ladies. So joining me tonight is
it's your girl Celeste, and don't forget, taking care of oneself is not selfish. It's necessary.
This is your girl Chauncey. Be all that you can.
Your girl Keisha. And just be yourself.
I'm your girl Kimmy. you better mind your business and you better make sure you are not doing something behind somebody's back because they're going to tell. All right, guys. Thank you again. We'll have a wonderful week on purpose. Join us on the porch every Wednesday when we drop a new episode. You can always catch us for hot topics like this on our social media pages. So have a wonderful week on purpose, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Take care.
Here.
Bye.